Welcome back, folks, to a brand new video.
Now, there is no other place in the world like the Nordic region. The natural landscapes, the fresh air, or even visiting the fjords. And it's made up of many countries with some of the best experiences, and unfortunately in underrated locations. So let's take a look at some of the best, less touristy places to visit in Europe.
Number 1. The Ice Caves. The Vatnajökull region is a great place to visit one of Iceland's natural wonders, the Ice Caves. It's formed during the winter months in the outlet glaciers of Vatnajökull, one of the biggest glaciers in Europe by volume. So in the fall, you will find that professional local guides go scouting for the ice caves for the upcoming winter season. So the caves should never be entered without a glacier guide and proper safety gear, but it's one of the best experiences that you will have. If you've ever seen a picture of Norway that's made your jaw actually drop, there's a pretty good chance that it's of the Lefotan Islands, an archipelago of islands in northern Norway that's known throughout the world for its dramatic scenery. From massive mountains to the fjords to quiet beaches. But Lofoten is also known for its excellent fishing, the nature attractions such as the Northern Lights and the Midnight Sun, and you'll also find small villages off the beaten track. So head to Lofoten for some serious adventure.
Another fantastic location in Norway is to visit Digan, Norway's most visited tourist road. So the 11 magnificent hairpin turns of Digan offer numerous highlights of fantastic scenery along the mountain road. Each bend has its own name, often named after the person who supervised the construction work on that particular section. But at some locations you will discover that the road is carved into the mountain itself, and in other places built in stone. You will also see Geiranger, which is the small village located at the end of the fjord. Vig i Mýrdal is a remote seafront village in South Iceland. So this should be on your list of locations to visit this year. And it sits in the shadow of a massive glacier which covers the Katla volcano. You'll also notice a wooden church dating back to 1929. Reynisfjara Beach has black pebbles, basalt columns, and the offshore rock formations. And you'll see the cliffs of the mountains are home to seabirds such as puffins. But there's absolutely no doubt that the land of fire and ice is absolutely stunning. And people all over the world come to see its natural beauty for themselves throughout the year.
Number 5. Tromsø. So this destination is nestled within the Arctic Circle in Norway, surrounded by snow-capped mountains and fjords. So Tromsø is a winter wonderland, a buzzing town. And if you're visiting between mid-November and January, you'll experience the Tromsø's polar night, where the sun doesn't rise above the horizon. So there are still plenty to see and do around the town, such as chasing the Northern Lights. But if you want to maximize your chances, I think you should go with a guided tour. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Norway is a country of outstanding beauty. And preserving this, the communities and the way of life is really essential for the locals. So what I'm trying to say is there are more than 1,000 fjords in Norway, all along the coast. So you don't have to travel to the most popular tourist ones, such as Fjord. But there are plenty, and many less touristy ones. Rainy And now we come to Stockholm, the capital of Sweden and one of the most photogenic cities in the world. It's spread out over 14 different islands, and there are so many museums, parks, art galleries that are far too much for you to see in one visit. So my advice is not to rush, but to pick and choose a few things to enjoy in this wonderful capital city. And I'm pretty much sure that you'll spend most of your time in the Old Town, Gamla Stan. But if you stay tuned this year, I'm going to show you a few hidden gems in Stockholm for 2024. Now, this destination doesn't need an introduction or even a description. Gullfoss, Iceland. It's one of the most amazing places that you'll ever see. If you don't believe me, watch. And finally, we come to Copenhagen. Now, this city has a way of feeling both lively and laid back at the same time, with colourful harbour fronts, cobbled streets, and so many cafes to keep you happily fueled for days. So you can spend a morning wandering through Nyhavn, with its iconic rows of painted townhouses. Then slip into the side streets of all the independent shops and bakeries. But the city's many parks and canals give it that breezy, open feel, and even in the summer, the temperatures here stay refreshingly comfortable compared to some of southern Europe. So it does make it a great destination to escape the heat. I think a good activity is to cycle along the waterfront, explore the royal palaces, or even hopping around between the food markets. So overall, Copenhagen offers a bit of a balance of culture, charm, and ease that makes it hard to leave. And there you have it, folks, a list of some cool summer escapes. And remember, these are not boring. They're really interesting and highly recommended, especially to beat that summer heat.